Good morning, everybody. Breathing in some fresh, crisp air. It helps that it's raining today, so this is a good breathing day. Look, Diddy was arrested. To be honest, I don't care. That's just where I'm at with it. Like, I don't care. I mean, he's not a good guy. So hopefully there's some justice for the people he has harmed. That's just where I'm at with it. I think, if anything, I'm curious to see how the community is going to cape for him, because we like to cape for degenerates. So when someone is misbehaving and we're like, no, well, these other groups of people, you didn't go after them. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, if you know the justice system is not just, don't do these bad things. So I had to explain to my kids one time, because I always say, you're the one that got caught. They're like, but so and so. I'm like, but you knew it was wrong. If two people are doing something wrong and only one gets caught, does that mean that you shouldn't still be handled accordingly to your crimes or whatever it was that you've done? I'm like, don't do it. So yeah, we know it's not fair that maybe the other person hasn't been caught or whatever. The point I'm going with it is, I'm curious to see how we, as a community, are going to find a way to cape for Diddy and somehow be like, it's not fair. I can't even take a guy seriously if he even calls himself that as even like a stage name, Diddy. What a silly name. So anyway, he was arrested. I don't care. All right, let's move on. So I was on TikTok, and I'm hoping that this isn't a trend again. But it was a period of a few days, there was this lady that had come across my feed, and then like a couple days later, 2, 3 days later, she came across again. And she was going off on how light-skinned women are haters or something like that against dark-skinned women. I'm like, here we go. Here comes the shenanigans. And I'm like, okay. And somehow she, I don't know. Is this a trend? Because I must live with the rock. She's basically saying that light-skinned women are jealous of dark-skinned women because other groups of people or all kinds of people may be checking for them. I'm like, okay. Wait, so why is everybody jealous? I'm like, if you're gorgeous and beautiful, why wouldn't they check for you? Who cares about your skin being brown? I'm like, I'm just trying to understand. I mean, it's like we create these divisions. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't see that in my everyday life. I don't think we really talk about it. Most of us are too old and too grown to have these kinds of silly conversations. But like, this was like a thing, and she had a healthy amount of people responding to her. Yeah, they don't like it when we get. I'm like, is this what this is about? A man likes you, and somebody who's light skinned was jealous. I'm like, isn't that just human nature, women nature, competition? I just thought it was such a strange couple of videos. I'm like, why am I getting this in my feed? So, I wound up, after I heard like about, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds of what she had to say, then I had to swipe on. I just, I don't know. I don't know where she was really going with this. I don't know if this is a thing. I've never seen it. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So I want to be clear. I understand that just because you don't see things doesn't mean it doesn't happen. But I also feel like, well, maybe that was just a scenario that was unique to her. I don't know. But she went on and on and on, and people were in the comments like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, this is like a thing? And I'm just kind of like, why not just be happy in your relationship? I'm like, in all of this happiness just because you have found a mate, I'm like, maybe collectively women are just desperate. I don't know. I mean, because it was like so much. They're just jealous if we have this, that. And I'm like, What is it? This is psycho. I really don't want to get into a dark skin, light skin thing. I mean, it's just silly to me. I mean, all of this on some skin color. Now, don't get me wrong. I recognize that we have some very colorist people out there. But I'm just sitting there thinking, like, if you found happiness, bask in your happiness with the person. Why do you need to get out on social media and go in on light skinned women? The whole thing was so weird to me. I'm like, what is your real beef then? I'm like, you have some sort of trauma or something. I mean, but we all have traumas. We all have trauma. And she equated the fact that if this woman may have been jealous of her, I don't know, or women in general. I'm like, it's not just women in general. Maybe if there's like some person that you like or whatever, women are gonna feel a certain kind of way. Anyway, somehow she made this a light skin, dark skin thing, and I was just like, I can't with our people. I just can't. I just kind of feel like we have to figure out how to get past this. I'm not saying we sweep it under the rug, and I am aware that I could definitely have a blind spot, right? Like I could be missing something, but the way she was coming at it, I was just so confused because I was like, how is this a light skin, dark skin thing? I'm like, it sounds like maybe people, I don't know. I don't even know why she was talking. The whole thing was confusing. But she kept coming across my feed. She came across my feed twice. I shouldn't say she kept coming, but she came twice. And I was like, why is this particular person being pushed to me in the algorithm? I don't like it, right? I don't want to be caught up. All I want to do is figure out how to breathe every day and watch the Lions. That's just where I'm at with it. And I've been playing a couple of like new games on my phone. So, but that's where I'm at with it. But I just could not, you know, get with that. And so I say this because while I was on TikTok last night playing, I wasn't playing the game and watching TikTok at the same time, but I got on right before I went to bed. I reviewed a couple of things because I use it to fall asleep, believe it or not. And apparently, the James and Fuhad podcasters, well, some of their old podcasts have started surfacing. And it's not looking good for these guys. Now, I don't know if cancel culture really exists, but these guys were totally, they don't like themselves, they don't like black women. Let's be clear. And I think this is the thing that I think many of the guys are not understanding. You don't want a black woman. Fine. There's others who do. But no one understands why it's so important for you to proclaim it to the world. Why, and really, I don't think you want white women or Asian women or whatever. I think you just don't want black women. So it's not that you want them. It's what you don't want. But I don't understand why you feel the need to tell everybody. And not only that, I just feel like these individuals are so troubled because most men from other groups, they don't have these kinds of conversations about their women. They protect their women in their demographic. But I feel like the men who look like me are so troubled and so lost, and they are in search of a new identity. They're trying to latch onto someone else's identity. They want everything that another demographic has. Everything. They're just lost individuals. And I just feel like some people can't be saved. That's just where I'm at with it. It is what it is. So I say this to say when I had the young lady came across my feed talking about the light skin, dark skin thing, because I'm like, and then you got these two clowns of a podcaster dudes going in on black women. I'm like, this is why the whole community is so messed up. So messed up. You got men who are so anti-black, anti-woman, anti-everything, and you got the black women who are not feeling loved. And then within that demographic, there's this competition for I guess the few black men who like black women, I don't know. I can't be caught up. You know me. I'm like, look, if they don't like you, somebody else will. There are plenty of people out there that will love you. I don't know. They're just so messed up. Anyway, that's all I had to say. This is really short and to the point. I didn't really have a whole lot to say, but that's where I'm at with it. And once again, I don't care that Diddy was arrested. I hope they throw the book at him. The end.